right, and we are back. So today we're going to continue our tutorial series, and we're going to keep playing our cleric that we made. We're going to jump into our first map with this cleric. Last time we went through all of the tabs and what they do, how to accept all your quests, all the fun stuff. I've got my guy geared up from the Squire gear that we talked about before. First things first, how to select a map. We're going to click this fun shiny little map selection button to the left, and we're going to take a look at the maps that we want to play and the mode that we want to play that map in. We talked about this last time a bit. We are going to want to play specifically as the cleric, the Forgotten Castle, or the Frost Mountain to start, to grind out our first few levels. Specifically because that is where all of the undead are. Or they have more, higher concentration of undead than some of the other maps do. So we're going to play Forgotten Castle, and I'm going to play on Adventure Mode, which only has trios. I do not want to play with other people right now, so I'm going to say do not fill empty party member slots. I'm going to tick that button, and then you just simply hit start. This little guy is going to come up, your squire, and he's going to remind you to check your loadout, make sure you have everything that you need. We're going to say yes, and it's going to queue us up. Generally, that doesn't take too long. I have seen it take a couple minutes, but it's nothing like some other games where you're queued for 5, 10, 15 minutes or more. So you'll notice when I spawn, I have no weapons out. My hands are empty. I can push 1 to bring out my weapons in the first slot, or I can push 3 to bring out my torch. Now, if you notice in the bottom right, that right above my 3 button there, there's multiple things I can pick from. If I continually hit 3, I'll bring out my bandage, and then my potion, and then my torch again. If I hit 4, I'll bring out my campfire, etc. So we're going to start with our weapons in our slot, and we're going to pick a spell. The default button is E. I have mine rebound to F because I prefer that to be there. So we're going to hold it. Our spell wheel comes up, and we're going to select what spell we want to have on hand while we play. We are going to go ahead and pick Holy Light because that will damage undead that we come across, as well as our Q button. So let's see here. Right here, Holy Purification. That's my Q button. After channeling for 1.5 seconds, deals 100 plus 1 divine magical damage to all undead monsters within a 7.5 meter radius around you. Okay, we're going to pull out our torch so we can light the area up. We're looking for chests, loot, anything of any kind. Those monsters are called Wisps. They are generally pretty difficult to fight, especially when there's 3 of them and 1 of me. So I'm going to try to kite them around a bit if I can. See if I can get this one's attention. Yep, here he comes. Now, if I hide behind this wall, he won't hit me too much. So for this undead here, when I hit Q, I'll say a little prayer, and he will die right away. That'll kill any undead in that radius around me. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about how to fight a wisp. You'll notice he shoots a little ice shard at you, which is all kinds of fun. It's pretty easy to sidestep. So he shoots it, you just walk to the side. We're going to hold up our shield as we strafe. And we've got other people's attention. Look at this. We got a slime here, who's going to hit me a few times because slimes are buttheads. And there we go. We got him. So we're going to pick our lesser heal, push number 2 to bring out our spell book. Hold our right click. We're going to aim at the ground and heal ourselves. We're going to do that again. So healing's fairly easy. You'll notice, well, let's get into healing in a second, after we deal with these guys a bit. Luckily, I have the advantage of that stump being between me and the other wisp, and he just did away with that advantage. Okay, so you'll notice when a wisp dies, they explode into that fun light. That will blind you if you're staring at it, and you don't have anything to block that. So, generally, when they start to die, you'll want to turn around or raise your shield. All I'm doing is walking in circles, making sure he doesn't hit me. And if he does, he hits the shield, and that's okay. So we're going to, oh, there he goes. We turn around, he exploded, and I can still see. To loot an enemy, you highlight him with your cursor and push your F button by default. There's some fun stuff in here. An explosive bottle can be equipped in your utility slots. So when I right-click it, I will automatically equip it to those. If I want to use it, I will push the 4 button until it becomes available, and then right-click to throw. And hopefully, that will do some damage to this guy while we walk in circles and let him shoot at us. Turns out it did. He is done. So, that is the general basics of how to fight a wisp. Combat, you right-click, you'll hold up your shield. With your shield, you want to make sure that you are looking at the attack. So if I'm fighting this post right here, okay, and it swings a sword, I don't necessarily want to just aim at him. I want to aim at his weapon that's coming in. If the weapon hits the shield, but also hits over the side of it, and the weapon touches you, it will damage you. So, make sure you're blocking effectively. Also, utilize dodge. You can crouch by holding, I think it's control by default. So you hold your crouch, you can walk in circles to dodge attacks. Relatively easy. If you get overwhelmed, it's a little harder, but we'll work through that when we see it. So we see chests. Oh, we see an enemy too. Let's go ahead and kite this guy a bit. So all I'll do is I'll let him follow me while I get some other friends. Skeletons tend to pop up out of the ground, so we want them to come with us. Yep, there he is. Come on, guys. Come hang out with me. There's another one. I can hear them all coming up. And once they approach, because I am playing an awesome cleric, I just hit Q. And they all die. Which is one of the reasons I recommend playing a cleric early on as a new player. That Vista, that purification, I think it's called, holy purification, does a lot of damage. It is very nice to have. So, and it refreshes. So you can see in the bottom left, it's on a cooldown timer right now, 24 seconds left. In 24 seconds, I'll be able to do that again, and I don't have to rest. So we're looking for loot. That is the main object of the game. Find as much stuff as you can and put it on. Okay. When you open a chest or a container of some kind, you will notice some things are red. This has a red background. That means I cannot wear that. I can, however, sell it. So things will have rarities as well. So if you notice this hunting trap, the words hunting trap are gray, which means it's the lowest quality. Slim bangle here is white. That's just a step higher than gray. You will notice the warden outfit is green. That's a step even higher. And then it continues with blue, purple, orange, right? The numbers go on, or the colors go on up. So we're going to take the warden outfit. I can't wear it, but I can sell it. All I did was right click it. These pants have a blue background. That means I can wear them because they are wearable. You will see in the item description, it has a slot type. It goes on the legs, which makes sense because it's pants, right? So it takes up this slot right here. It has an armor rating of 53 and 2 dexterity. That 2 dexterity will help me swing faster and all kinds of other fun stuff. So I'm going to take these pants off and put these ones on. When I do that, I will lose the 2 strength and the 1 vigor that these give, but I will get the undead damage reduction and the dexterity 2 and all the stuff that comes from these ones. So I'm simply going to left click and drag these off the side of the screen, drop them on the ground, right click these legs, and they automatically equip. I'm going to grab a couple small things just to make up some room, and then we're going to start looting. So we see this has a green crystal sword. That's worth some money. There's a potion of water breathing. That's got to be worth something. We'll keep exploring here. There's a potion. This wisp has nothing. We may have already looted him. I can't remember. But there's chests all over the place. Keep an eye out for them. Rawhide gloves. I have rawhide gloves. Those are 2 steps higher. From gray, they skip white and go to green. So I'm going to throw these 2 off and equip these 2. These have the same 2 knowledge. The other 2 knowledge. These have the same 2 knowledge that the other gloves had. Excuse me. But you notice they also have a 1.2% max health bonus because they're a rare item. Here's some more stuff. I generally don't collect the silver coins unless I'm doing it for a quest. I have room right now, so I'll go ahead and collect them. I'll show you about those here in a while. If you see boxes such as this one, you can break them. Typically with a bludgeoning type weapon, it's a lot easier. With a thrusting type weapon, you're not going to break them very well at all. But you just smack them, and they'll drop stuff on the ground. When everything clears, you can see these ones had some boots inside, as well as an ale. Those boots are not equipable by me. That's okay. Again, I can sell them. So we're going to come open this chest as well. I'm going to see what it offers. And it has a magic staff that would replace my catalyst spot, so I can equip that if I want. It has magic penetration, which this has as well, but that has more, etc., etc. I'm going to take this spell book, because it's gray, and because it came from the squire, I can't sell it. And even if it didn't come from the squire, because it's gray, it wouldn't be worth much at all anyway. So I'm going to click and drag, drop it on the ground, and I'm going to equip the staff, and grab that little bangle too. Now when I'm ready to cast a spell, I'll push number 2, bring out the staff, hold a right click, and if I want to heal myself, aim at my feet, and cast that spell. Now you'll notice down here, there's a little number beside the spells. The spells all have that same number on the bottom of them here. So this has a 1 out of 4 because I've cast it 3 times. This has 3 out of 3 because I've not cast it at all. So how do I get those spell slots back? If I cast all my healing spells and I want to get them returned to me, you're going to find a nice quiet corner somewhere where you're not going to get murdered. Pull out your campfire, and of course you can only do this once for each campfire that you have. Look at the ground near your feet and click. Your regular interaction speed will make this faster. So you wait for that to go on up. Once it's done, we're going to hit G, which lets us sit down in front of our campfire. If you have a cool campfire skin, it'll come up here. And then if we hold Q, or excuse me, our E button by default, you will see our spells are regenerating. They will only regenerate if you're sitting down. A campfire makes them regenerate significantly faster. So if you do not have a campfire and you need your spells back, you can sit down any old where and it'll do fine, but it will take significantly more time. So we're going to grab some more stuff. Okay, you will see anytime you pick up a crossbow or a bow, sometimes it'll have arrows that come with it. You can get rid of those. They're not worth anything. Okay, if you look in the bottom right, there's a timer. It says we have 4 minutes left to leave the dungeon before the dungeon quote-unquote collapses. So we're going to open our map. Default button is M. You will see a bunch of little blue icons. Those blue icons are exits from the map. A red icon takes you deeper into the dungeon. If you recall, this map has 3 floors on it. So if I go through a red exit, I will go down a floor to the next one and continue my run through. If I go through a blue one, I will leave my run through now. But you'll also notice where I'm standing, there is no staircase. There's no way to get out. That is because this particular room on this part of the map has a secret area. So if you come over here to this well, you can climb down the ladder, or you can drop on down and hopefully not get hurt. And there it is. Oh, I'm on the ladder, excuse me. So when I pull out my torch so we can see, you'll see these fun little squares on the ground. Those are traps. If you step on them, you will take damage. And now if you look at my health, you see 3 colors. You see the bright red, the darker red, and the gray. The bright red is my health that I have right now. That darker red is an amount of health, I can heal with a bandage. So when I use this bandage, you'll see that health go up. And then the darker gray, I can only heal with either a potion or by sitting down at a campfire. Okay. You'll also notice I'm taking damage slowly. That's because the dungeon is about to collapse. So every now and again, you'll see a little damage indicator on my screen, and it simply means that I'm being hurt and I need to leave because I only have 2 minutes left. Anytime you see the color blue, that is indicative of an exit. There are some cases where that's not true, such as in the Frost Caverns. But in most maps, the color blue means, hey, you can leave here. Which is why it's fun, if you have blue torches and you want to right-click to throw them, you can sometimes deceive players to make them think that an exit is open, or there's an exit there where there is not one. And you can draw people out if you need. It doesn't always work, but it does sometimes. We're going to pick our torch back up, and we're going to extract the dungeon. Once we hit that door, we'll be able to observe other players. We'll go into a spectator mode. If there's no other players left, we can simply exit whenever we're ready. Or if there are players left and we want to exit anyway, we can. Okay. We click exit to lobby, and it gives us a nice rundown of the mission. Total value of looted items, 126 gold. That's a good amount of money, right? You remember earlier, it only cost 25 to get into the Traders Guild. So we got that pretty easily in just one run. So we're going to say, okay. And it's going to load us back into the lobby where we did a great job. We did awesome. Look at us go. You'll see I gained a level. I'm level 2. And your level is impacted by anything that happens in the game. Defeating monsters, successfully extracting, opening chests and getting loot, and all kinds of stuff can impact your experience. So those correlations are not super well communicated by the game, but you can research online what things impact experience, and you can, of course, grind those specific things out to get more to level yourself up. So now that we're back, what do? First thing we're going to want to do is organize our loot. If I have loot that I want to keep, I'm going to go to my stash, and I'm going to drag that loot into my stash. It's nice and easy. I can simply drag it like that, or I can hold Shift and I can right-click it. If I hold Shift and right-click it, it is going to bring it directly into the stash instead of trying to equip it. If I'm in the map, it'll drop it on the ground. So if I hold Shift and right-click from here, it'll put it right back into my inventory. There's nothing in here really that I want to keep. These silver coins, you can't do a whole lot with right now. So I'm going to put them in my side stash where you can see I'm saving a bunch more. We'll just get rid of those now. If you want, you save those. We call it a day. So we are going to go to a merchant. The main two that we're going to sell stuff to are going to be the weaponsmith, who's going to buy all of our combat stuff, weapons and armor and things like that. The collector is going to sell all of the weird stuff. So he's going to buy all the weird stuff from you. So things like bangles and jewels and stuff like that, which you'll sometimes need for quests, and you can use them to change the stats on items. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do with those gems, but selling them in the beginning is pretty recommended. So we're going to go to the weaponsmith first. You'll notice he has all kinds of tabs up here, and he has sub-tabs as well. So he has trade, where you can buy and sell. He has service, where you can do all kinds of fun stuff. You can craft these things, essentially. So if I had 3 gold nuggets, I could craft a gold bar, which you can see I need for a quest. And you just do that here. Here's all of the quests that this particular merchant has. We're going to go back to trade, and we're going to click sell. If I want to sell something, I'm going to just click on it from my inventory, regular old left click, and you'll see that it put it in his items to sell box here. Now, if I try to sell something like a bangle, which, if you recall, the collector buys that, it says that he's not interested in buying it. If I try to click it, it simply tells me that he doesn't want it, and I have to go on to the next thing. So I'm going to sell all of the other items that I know that he does want, and I'm going to get 60 gold right here. I'm going to make that deal, and then I'm going to go on to the next merchant. You will notice in the collector, he only has sell. So we're going to go ahead and just sell this stuff to him here. Okay? Make deal. You will notice when you get gold, it typically just plops itself right down in your inventory the first time that you sell. Mine did not. That is because I have coin pouches. So all my coin pouches are right here, and my gold automatically transfers into those. I keep my gold in a shared stash. So these stars are shared stashes. All of my players can access those. This gold one I will have forever because of my legendary status with the game, which means I purchased the upgrade. And then this one is because of seasonal content. So all of my stuff gets stored there that I might want with someone else. So by storing all of my money bags in this shared stash, all of my characters have access to all of my gold. So if I start a new character, they have access to the same gold that all my other characters have. When I sell things, it puts it in the same pool. I prefer it that way. So, you want these bags specifically to store your gold because because gold can only be stored in piles of 10 pieces. So, 50 gold would take up 5 slots, right? It would take up a pretty good chunk of your inventory here. If you buy a gold pouch, it will stack it in 50 per pouch. You can see that in this fun little number right here in the bottom right. You can get bigger pouches that hold more, whereas normally these 2 spots would hold 100 because, 50 and 50. But with this pouch, they hold 250. You typically get those pouches through quests. So, if you want to get that pouch so that you can organize your gold a bit better, you are going to come on in here and you're going to take a look at all your merchants, and you're going to notice one of them is called the treasurer. You're going to give him a click, and he sells pouches. So so I actually did not notice that he was selling the gold coin pouch before. I thought he was only selling purses. So this is either an update or I just missed it. But either way, say I want to buy a gold coin pouch. I'm going to click an item, and this is going to happen for anything that you buy in this game. Right, it's going to all pretty much be the same if you buy it from a merchant. You click the item you want to buy. You can see it costs 1,000 gold. I happen to have almost 4,000. So when I want to buy it, I'm going to click Fill All in Stash. And it's going to fill 1,000 gold from my stash into this little slot right here. Then I'm going to make a deal. And then I'm going to do it again as many times as you want. And of course, you can raise that number here. It's going to make that a little easier too. But you buy the pouch that you want / can afford. These little coin purses only cost 5 gold apiece, and they are definitely worth the investment. So we're going to go back to our stash, and we are going to make room for organization's sake for 2 more gold coin pouches right up here. Then I'm going to move all these down simply because I tend to be very particular about how I like my stash organized. So, you know, it's fun to me to do that. So if you remember, I got a few things in that run of that dungeon that were not what I walked in with from my squire, okay? Particularly this pair of pants, this pair of gloves, and this staff. If I want to keep those on my person because they give me good stats, I absolutely can do that. When I go to play, it'll tell me the highest level of gear that I can wear when I want to go in. So you can wear all the way up to red, which is huge gear, right? So I can wear those. They meet the requirements for the dungeon, and they may give me stats that I like, what have you, right? Or I can sell those. So I can just drag them off down here. We're going to go ahead and show this. We're going to drag them off down there. This potion I found, if you notice it has a white name. This potion I did not find. I brought it in with me from my squire. This potion I found as well. So if I want to sell all these, I'm going to go to merchants, weaponsmith, sell, just like we did before. I'm going to sell all the stuff that I just got, make deal. And he buys these potions as well, which some people will try to sell them to the alchemist specifically. I've never noticed too much of a difference, if any at all. So I'll just sell everything to him. But that leaves a problem. Now I don't have a secondary weapon, a catalyst to cast spells. I don't have pants, and I don't have gloves. I need to get those back. And I used my campfire. It's gone. So if I go to merchants and I go to squire, you will see my squire loadout is here, and I'm missing some of those items. So it will fill in any item that I'm missing automatically when I say equip base gear. One of the things that we want to pay attention to, is going to be really cool, is that we can actually keep the items that we went through a successful raid with, and we can get other stuff to replace it, okay? So I'm going to take this potion down here and this bandage down here, because these 2 slots correlate with these 2 slots. And I want him to put these back here. So I'm going to move those down, and I will hit equip base gear. And you'll notice I got back everything that had been removed. So now I'm ready to go, including new potions and a new bandage, when I still have a potion and a bandage from the last run. Had I had my old campfire, if I move it down a slot and then hit equip base gear, it would put it in this top slot. However, here, it'll just keep throwing it up there because that's brand new, right? I just got it from the squire, so I have to run it through a dungeon before I'm allowed to keep it. So fairly simple. That was a basic dungeon run. We covered how to get into a dungeon, how to get out of a dungeon, some basic tactics on how to fight a wisp. We found a secret room, and we talked about how to extract. And then we talked about how to sell that stuff that we got from our raid to merchants. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe. We can talk about all kinds of really cool, fun stuff. And we will continue to move about this tutorial. Everybody have a great day, and until next time.